Hey everyone, Lauren from A Girl and Her Wool here. Welcome back to my channel. Here on my channel, I talk about all things behind the scenes of running my online shop, A Girl and Her Wool. And today I'm going to be talking about the Fall Into Shawl box, which I'm launching tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Time in my shop at agirlandherwool.com. So I also want to add in that I am wearing a coin flip hat, which is a pattern by Shanalines Designs. This was my Rose Wall mini skein set, which was from my February 22 mystery yarn club. My mom knit this for me and gave it to me this weekend, and it felt very fitting to wear it today while filming this vlog. So another fun Shanalines Designs patterns. So earlier this year, I did a March into Spring box where I dyed up all different colorways that were different dye techniques, and then we knit up socks and talked about how the different dye techniques knit up into socks, and that was a lot of fun to do. And so I wanted to do something similar but different. So I wanted to do something that had a theme to it and more than just, a box of yarn. And so I'm really excited to say that I collaborated with Shana from Shanalines Designs. And so this will be a not just a yarn box. There's going to be other, things in there as well that we'll talk about. So this box's theme is all about shawls. So the first part of the Fall Into Shawl box is going to be the yarn, so dyed up by me, and you're going to get 3 colors in your choice of sock or DK. The 3 colors are going to be a dark, a bright, and a neutral. And those 3 are not a gradient or anything. They're 3 distinct colors that have similar elements, and so they definitely make a set, but also can be used individually or however you want. But the fact that it's kind of a dark, a bright, and a neutral, you can kind of use them universally in a lot of different patterns. However, this box will come with a design made especially for these colorways, designed by none other than Shanalines Designs. So I'm really excited to have collaborated with her. I'll talk about the design in a little bit. But the box will come, if you order the sock version, you will get 3 100-gram skeins that can be used to make Shana's pattern. And if you order the DK version, you're actually going to get a little bit more. You're going to get a 200-gram skein and then 2 150-gram skeins. And that is because I asked Shana, can you design a pattern that can be used for both? Because I know a lot of you like to use sock yarn and a lot of you like to use DK weight yarn. So I wanted it to be available to both, and she delivered. And so based on the kind of amounts you need for the shawl, we decided to up the DK weight one to make it the same size as the fingering weight version. Wanted to mention that you will see some price differences between the 2 bases because for DK you are getting more yarn. But there's kind of more than just yarn in here. So before I get into that though, so for the yarn color inspiration, they are kind of fall-esque colors, but not completely, not traditional. They're not your kind of fall foliage themed colors. They are a little bit brighter than I think typical fall, but for me they felt fall-esque. And so if you look at the picture that I've been posting as the advertisements on Instagram, this was not an inspiration. This was not a mood board. I dyed up these colors based on what I wanted to do. There was no mood board. However, this image kind of gives you some of the elements that are in there, and then there's kind of a neutral as well. So not based on this photo whatsoever, just want to mention that, but it was an image that I found that kind of represented the overall feel a little bit. So wanted to put that out there. So that's kind of what you'll receive for the yarn. So for the pattern that Shana designed, it's a good advanced beginner pattern, a lot of garter stitch, and some stockinette stitch, and then there's some short rows. So Shana has a really amazing supportive Discord group that you can join, and you can talk about the pattern, and we'll actually be hosting a knit along there with more details to come later. So if you need help along the way, there's definitely help available, but I think this pattern will be doable for all of you out there, so I don't want that to discourage you. We picked something that we felt like would be inclusive for people. It is a rectangular shawl. And so other than that, I'm going to keep it a surprise. And I just wanted to mention, when you're ordering on the DK side, because there's that main color that's a larger skein than the other two, you will kind of have to choose the overall feel that you want for the pattern. So I just wanted to kind of mention that here as well. So if you choose the dark, so which one you choose will not necessarily mean that the shawl will be that. So for example, if you pick the dark color to be your main color, the shawl itself isn't necessarily like super dark. It's not used in the same way. It's not like overall that kind of feel. Like the bright color definitely still pops in the darker version. The main color is kind of used on a border, and then it's used kind of sporadically throughout the whole shawl. The other two colors, one will kind of be an accent color and one will kind of also go a little bit throughout the whole shawl. So kind of keep that in mind. I think overall, if you do the dark as your main color, it is a darker feel with pops of the bright. If you do the brighter one as your main color, you get pops of kind of the dark or the neutral, depending on where you choose to put your other colors. So kind of just keep that in mind. Whatever the main color is, it kind of goes throughout the whole thing. So it will kind of give that essence of it. However, you will get pops of like one of the other two main colors. So I hope that helps. If not, let me know. So Shayna's two patterns, her DK weight one, she did the dark as the main color, and for the other one, I think she did the bright as the main color. I think the bright kind of gets a little lost when you do that one as the main color, and you more see the pops of the dark that based on where she put it, and then the bright and the neutral kind of blend together a little bit more. With the dark one, you get the pops of the bright, and the dark and the neutral kind of blend a little bit more together. And then I guess if you did the neutral, you would kind of get the dark and the bright. You would get either pops of dark or bright, depending on what you choose. So I hope that helps. I don't think you can go wrong with any combination. Think more about, what do you want a pop of? Do you want a pop of bright? Do you want a pop of neutral? Do you want a pop of dark? If so, put one of those as your contrast, and then either the dark or the neutral as the main color. I think that's a good way to kind of think about it. Okay, so that's about the pattern that will come with it. So thank you, Shayna, for designing that. The pattern will launch on October 1st. However, if you purchase the box, it'll be included. You'll get a discount code and instructions from me on how to download it to put into, to get it, that way. The other thing that I'm excited to say is we're also collaborating with Twin Mountain Handcrafts, who make stitch markers and stitch marker holders. It kind of accessories on a shawl accessory. Again, I don't want to spoil it, but it's pretty cool. It's not a shawl pin, but it is a fun way to kind of hold things together and add a little bit of something to it. So it's not like something huge and big or anything, but it is a fun way to kind of hold things together. So I'm excited for that. If you haven't checked out the shop, definitely do so. They do a lot of acrylic based stitch markers and everything, so they have really beautiful colors and designs and everything like that. So definitely give them a follow and check that out. But that also will come in the box too. So you'll get the yarn, the pattern, and a clasp to kind of hold everything together. So that's what's going in. Again, they launch tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time, so definitely check it out. They will be limited on how many I'm offering. That way I can get them out to you. So they're going to be available until they sell out, or August 31st, whichever comes first. My plan will then to ship them before yarn clubs on the 20th. So sometime between the 15th and the 20th, I will ship them out. So you will have them. You can wind up the yarn and be all ready to start our knit along on October 1st. It will run October 1st through the end of the year. Plenty of time to knit the shawl up. And again, we'll have more details about the knit along as we get closer to it. So if you have any questions at all, let me know. Give Shayna a follow. You can also give Twin Mountain Handcrafts a follow. And I will be around for questions tomorrow. And thank you all so much for the support of this and my shop, and along with my collaborators. So I will talk to you all soon and see you in the shop tomorrow. Bye.